All right, it is 3:02. Call the meeting to order. The LaPorte County Election Board, if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's start with roll call. Chuck Watterson, President, here. Nelson Picardo.
Here.
And Heather Stevens.
Here.
Okay, we'll start with public comment. That's how the agenda's rolling, so if there's any public comment, now would be the time. Seeing as there is no public comment, we're going to move on to new business. Under new business, we have residency challenge notated on the agenda. There was a complaint brought forth by somebody that an elected official serving in LaPorte County may no longer be living in LaPorte County. That person who made the complaint got cold feet or something and decided not to go through with it. So we're not going to address that anymore today. That's why the meeting was called, was to hear evidence on both sides and not necessarily make a decision, but just make some findings on what we have. And we're going to explain the process for that for in the future. So once the election happens and we have elected officials in office, the only way to formally challenge that position would be to submit a complaint in circuit court in LaPorte County so that they can hold a hearing and hold evidence, make some findings of law and fact to determine whether or not that person meets those requirements, and then the process would go from there as far as removal or what happens there. And after that, we don't really need to discuss it, but, you know, depending on the party affiliation, there'd be a caucus and all that, but that's not where we're going because the hearing's not going to happen. Ultimately, we don't have the authority to make a decision on an elected official's status once we hear. This is kind of a first time this has happened in our knowledge. If the complaint were to go through, what we were going to do. We had the understanding that we could hear the evidence and forward what we heard to whatever body's going to make the decision. And then to comply with Indiana code, do you have the code by chance?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, to comply with Indiana code, the person making the complaint needs to file a formal complaint with the circuit court. This isn't a thing where anonymity can be used to say, hey, I think so-and-so is not doing something right. It needs to be followed by the steps of the law to file a complaint in circuit court so that they can make a decision. Again, that's why this hearing was called today. That person's not coming forward. So we're going to move on from there. Anyone have any more comments on that?
I do just have a few comments, Chuck. Once we receive a complaint, we're just not going to ignore it as the election board. That's why we're here. That's why we made a board meeting. And unfortunately, we're not going to take any information about it. As Chuck mentioned, the individual who filed the complaint doesn't wish to proceed with it any longer, and that's fine. But as the election board, we're not just going to call a meeting and then cancel it because someone else decides not to follow through. We want to be transparent. We want to let the public know we did receive a complaint and we're doing everything that we can in order to make sure that we follow through with that and give individuals an opportunity to be heard regarding, you know, if their name is invoked and any issues that might come about regarding their position. But as Chuck mentioned, we don't have any actual legal authority to remove anyone from office. Okay, that has to be done through the actual courts. Now, there is candidacy challenges, right? So if this was a candidate and you're challenging the residency of a candidate, that's different. We can take action on that, and there's actual forms. I think it's the CAN 10 that can be filed. So just so the public's aware. But as far as this situation goes, you know, we can hear evidence and we can make our own conclusions. Obviously, as the election board, we may have some opinions about that, but we ultimately wouldn't be able to rule or, you know, make any actual orders as to what should happen regarding an elected official. So with that said, again, we feel like we should have this meeting because of the fact that this information has been brought to us. Again, we didn't want to just cancel this meeting and then have people start asking questions, well, you know, we heard such and such happen, why did you guys cancel the meeting? So that's why we're meeting and we're setting the record straight. Other than that, I don't have any other comments.
Heather, do you have any comments on this issue?
I do want to state that both parties were notified by certified mail, and neither party chose to attend today, so there's really not much that we can do.
Okay, and that's it for new business. We have no old business to talk about. If we want to move on to board member comments, Nelson, do you have anything else?
I was just going to remind everyone, we do have our regularly planned scheduled meeting for next Friday where we're going to be discussing the topics that we raised. I know I've been studying up on the new early voting locations and the mobile unit, so if anyone's listening, anyone has any input regarding those items, you can email me or call me to give me your input. But we're going to be making some of those discussions available for everyone next Friday. So if you're interested in that, please join us, and we're happy to hear what you have to say regarding, early voting locations for the future and the possibility of the mobile unit as well. So I'm looking forward to the next hearing where we actually get something done.
Heather?
I've been busy as well. I've been doing a lot of work with the electronic poll books, and I was able to go to Porter County, I believe it was Tuesday, to actually see, walk through, touch their mobile voting van, and it's impressive. I do have pictures for you. I know you're interested, so.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, we've all been up to a lot of work. I think everything we've been doing, we talked about the last meeting, is going to be very important to the future of LaPorte County elections, just to kind of catch up with the times and get where we need to be. So again, if anyone has any input, feel free to email us. I mean, it's open door. Just contact us, let us know your feelings on it. Attend the meeting next Friday so you can hear us talk about the items from the last meeting and any new updates we have. Again, this meeting was called for a reason. We held it because we want to keep everything transparent as far as what's coming our way. And again, as far as the complaint process goes, just if you submit a complaint, be prepared to talk about it and put your name to it, because we can't do anything based on filing something anonymously, because that's not how this country was founded with due process. You have the right to confront your accuser on a criminal level, of course, but we want to stand by that here too. If you have a complaint on somebody, file it, please. We're not discouraging that at all, but be prepared to state your case and confront the person that's you're complaining against. At this time, that's all I have for board member comments. Anyone else have anything else?
Nope.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd make that motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.